Hey guys, we're gonna be doing a voiceover in this video, and let's get into it. So, Minecraft with RTX. You've seen it, whether if you've actually seen just YouTube videos or if you've actually experienced for yourselves on the Bedrock edition of the game. It's stunning, for the least I can say. But now, Minecraft did not create RTX on their own. They worked with a company called nvidia. Now, nvidia is a graphics card company, a vital part of all computers. I happen to have one, and that's what games like. Your whole gaming performance is affected, and their cards are honestly great. Now, there are a few GeForce Titan, but we're going to be focusing on GeForce GTX and GeForce RTX in this video. So, GeForce GTX. Let's start with GTX. I happen to be running a GTX 1650 Ti graphics card on my gaming rig that I record on. Yeah, it's pretty simple. But GeForce RTX. RTX is specially designed for ray tracing, which is what the RT is for in the RTX. That's what ray tracing stands for. And Minecraft is not the only game that happens to have ray tracing. There are other games out there, a lot of big games like Call of Duty and stuff, that do have ray tracing. I don't know if Call of Duty actually has it, but big games like that. Just chuck that out there. Hope you don't get too confused by that. But, now, let's say you took my PC, a GeForce GTX PC, and you went into Minecraft Bedrock Edition, which I actually happen to have on my computer. I should have some videos coming out shortly with me in Bedrock Edition. Yeah. If you love it or hate it, but you took it, and then you went to the marketplace and tried to download one of the ray tracing maps, it would say, I would get this message. You are unable to download this pack because you need an RTX 2060 or better to do this map. Your device is not compatible. You need an GeForce Titan RTX or GeForce RTX graphics card to do this. What the did you do? You're saying that you have to have a GeForce RTX graphics card or Titan RTX graphics card to do ray tracing? Now that's a problem. I'm saying that right now. That is a major issue. Because there's going to be a lot of GTX users like myself that happen to be very upset with nvidia about this. It's, quite frankly, guys, it's just crazy. Now, they would say, well, RTX graphics cards do have special hardware to run ray tracing, like they have different core stuff. Super sciencey stuff that I'm not going to go and I'm not going to take on in the video, but we've seen it with mods for Java that do ray tracing, or at least make it look similar. Now, I'm going to say that is not actually ray tracing, and even if it was a mod that was like used NVIDIA's ray tracing, it would be ray tracing, but it's not the fact that it's a mod. But it's the fact that it doesn't recreate the light. It doesn't think. The computer doesn't ask this question, what would light do in real life? It just says water, make water look like this. Not, the sun rays is going on this block, light it up. And, yeah. Bedrock Edition of the game is great. RTX is one of the reasons. Go with them. But as NVIDIA promised, they did, I'm going to say this right now, they did put out ray tracing compatibility for some of the GTX cards. But you might say, well, why are you complaining? I'm complaining for two reasons. One, that's not on all GTX cards. And two, it's useless. Like, even if I had the driver for that and I went into Minecraft, it wouldn't let me. It's like, it's ray tracing compatible, but we won't let you use it. That's basically what it is, which is really annoying. Like, now, I'm asking NVIDIA to please make GeForce GTX graphics cards be able to run ray tracing. And they would say, well, that would hurt our business, then nobody would buy RTX cards, because if they want to do ray tracing, they could just do it on a GTX card. Now, I get what you're saying, NVIDIA, but a lot of people don't get RTX cards for ray tracing. They're just more powerful cards than the GTX graphics card. Remember, all YouTubers have RTX graphics card. Did they use ray tracing all the time? No. And even if, let's say, you wanted ray tracing, well, it wouldn't run well because it doesn't have the special hardware to do ray tracing. And, maybe that would actually help boost business, because then a GTX card user would be use it, and then they're oh, I really like this, but it's a little laggy. I don't like the lag. So then they get an RTX graphics card, and RTX graphics cards are pretty darn pricey, ranging from $300 to $1,500. You heard that right. $1,500 for the RTX 3090. This is just a crazy graphics card. 8K, 300 FPS, ray tracing. Boom. No problem. No problem. And, I'm asking NVIDIA to please do that. Now, I'm not saying NVIDIA should just any PC. It doesn't. If you have an Intel Cyclone processor, which is like a $50 CPU with no graphics card, you should all of a sudden be able to run ray tracing. I'm not saying that. I'm saying all NVIDIA graphics cards you should be able to. Yes, all NVIDIA graphics cards. You're neglecting your own product, NVIDIA. Now, I like NVIDIA. They're my favorite graphics card company. Now, but NVIDIA is the biggest graphics. They've just been the way to go. There's no question about Radeon or now Intel. That's right. The company that has been strapping on integrated graphics to their CPUs and calling it a day has finally shown up and finally given us a graphics card, but it totally sucks, yeah. Yeah, they gave us a graphics card, but it totally sucks. I mean, games, the GeForce GTX 1650 Ti, which isn't actually that good of a graphics card, the one that I have, it's a mid-tier graphics card, can run at 60 FPS in this game. The Intel's graphics card, which is way more expensive than this, runs at 30 FPS. It's just not the thing. No, but there is one more competitor. Well, there was two more, but one of them just disappeared off the face of the planet. Radeon. AMD, the other CPU company other than Intel, AMD Ryzen, has made something called AMD Radeon. And they're okay cards. It's hard to necessarily, because they're good Radeon cards. I don't know much about them, if I'm honest. But I don't think they can't match for NVIDIA's GeForce GTX and RTX and Titan RTX, but nobody really gets Titan cards anymore. Or, well, nobody really ever did. Nobody ever did. And, yeah. Now, I want to say something, guys. Look at this. I'm talking about Bedrock Edition while I'm doing a voiceover of me in Bedrock Edition, or in Java Edition. How dumb is that? I know, but I'm too busy to record another 15-minute clip. But you see, guys, I'm not asking. Radeon cards they're kind of hard to, it's kind of hard to say about them. It's hard for me to say about them. I don't know much about them. I'm just asking to NVIDIA. Honestly, as a GTX user, it makes me just feel like NVIDIA isn't doing much for us. They moved on to RTX, even though the GTX 1080 is the best $500 graphics card you can get. I want a 1080. It's like an RTX 2060, but with no ray tracing. Now, I have thought about this, guys. I haven't actually tested if this will work, and I probably never will. But just a thought. What if you could rename your graphics card into a RTX-compatible graphics card? That could be cool, but it might, require skills that I don't have. But, NVIDIA, just please put RTX on the GTX graphics card. Yeah, like they said, hey, here's ray tracing on GTX graphics card. Oh yeah, it's like, hey, here's ray tracing. Oh, but you can't use it. Sorry. It's annoying, and it's just, quite frankly, makes NVIDIA feel like a bunch of idiots running around. There is no other than GTX and RTX. That's why I'm not mentioning any of them, because there are none. But I'm just simply asking NVIDIA to allow GTX graphics cards to run ray tracing. I'm not asking for integrated graphics cards. I'm not asking for kind of integrated, like a graphics card like made into your CPU. Okay, let me do a quick explanation. So, Intel's graphics cards, or Intel's CPUs, excuse me, not graphics cards, have this thing called integrated graphics. It's just like where some of the cores that would go to CPU computing go to GPU computing if you don't have a graphics card. But AMD, what they do is they actually strap a chip into their CPUs, like a not very powerful chip, but they slap on, like, the name of Intel's Intel Core i7, blah, blah, blah. The AMDs are like AMD Ryzen with Radeon, blah, 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 graphics. But this has been Minecraft News. I'm gonna start a little series of Minecraft news and stuff. Pretty easy to do. Voiceovers on Filmora, so bet. But I'm just asking, NVIDIA, it makes you feel like you're neglecting your own product. And there are a lot of GTX users, and then they're just gonna get... As NVIDIA promised, there's no way to do it, and even if we could do it, it is like... But it would kind of be like a cool test, and then you could see if you wanted an RTX graphics card. And NVIDIA would say, well, then nobody would buy RTX graphics card because you can do ray tracing on GTX. Like I said, that's not necessarily the reason that people get RTX graphics cards. They're just generally more powerful than the GTX cards. The GTX cards use older technology and they're just not as good. It's simple as that. So if you want a good gaming rig, you're gonna go with RTX either way, ray tracing or not. But a GTX user really, it feels like GTX users are kids like me because they're cheaper. They want to run ray tracing. They want to try it out. But of course, you're like, you need an RTX 2060 or better, and you're just like, it's getting. Now, NVIDIA is a good graphics card company, like I've said. There are some things that just annoy me. I tried downloading drivers for it when I heard that NVIDIA had done RTX on GTX. But I couldn't find a driver. I put in my like, it feels like NVIDIA is really starting to look like GTX. So when I literally went on their website, they had the GTX 1650, but they didn't have the GTX 1650 Ti drivers. Like, I know, maybe they're the same, I don't know, but it's really annoying. And it's just starting to get out of hand, if I'm honest. The fact that you have to have RTX graphics card, it just makes me really mad. Because NVIDIA, you've made RTX like the number one okay, well, you always were the number one graphics card selling in the world. I don't think anybody goes with really MSI, Radeon, or anything. Yeah, AMD did drop a bombshell on Intel and like CPU performance. The part of your computer, like you're like i7, check it out. I'm good with an Intel Core i7. Now AMD came in and they're like, get twice as many cores. Get 4 times as many threads. Yeah. But guys, I hope you've enjoyed this little discussion. And thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.